Good question. Bi'u Mishnah Hey. Let's do Hey also. Mitzvat Arava shel HaMizbeach ketzad. How did they do the Mitzvat Arava of the Mizbeach? How did they do it? The willow on the altar. Like we said, it's only in the temple, and today we do it as a custom on the seventh day with our willows. Ketzad noagim ba b'mikdash. How is it done in the Mikdash? Makom haya lemata miYerushalayim. There was a place on the slopes going down from Yerushalayim, v'nikra Motza. You know this place? It's there today? Really? I don't even know that it is. Yeah? Yordim lesham kol yom. Oh yeah, that's exactly what he says. Yordim lesham kol yom miyimot hachag. So the Gabayim, the Chazanim, those who are responsible for the temple, they would go down there every day of the days of the holiday. Umilakshim sham murbiyot shel Arava. And they would take over there, not small branches, the big branches of the willow. Anafim gdolim shel Arava. Big branches of willow. Not the small little stems that we have. The stem comes from another branch, the main branch. Uba'im vezokfim ota betzidei hamizbeach. And they would come and they would put it on the sides of the altar. Verashohem kfufim al gabe hamizbeach. And they will lean in. You know, the head would fall into the altar. בגמרא מבואר, in the Gemara it explains, שהמורביות היו גבוהות 11 אמה. It says, how tall were they? Like 11 אמה. 11 אמה is approximately, this is Amot HaMikdash, so it's 5 meters regularly, 5.5 meters regularly, but it's the Mikdash, so it's about 6.5, 7.5 meters. Very long branches. ומתוך כך היו ראשיהם מוטים על המזבח הרע. Because they were so long, the edge would fall. So, and then what did they do? Tak'u veheriu. They made a blow, like in Rosh Hashanah, you know, they tak'u veheriu v'tak'u. There was a tkiya, trua, tkiya. בעת שהיו מביאים את המרבדיות ומסדרים אותם בשדה המזבח. At the time that this was done, it was with the shofars, or the trumpets. I don't know which one it was, but probably trumpets. ויש מבארים עתה משום שמחה. It says, what's all the celebration? Because of the great happiness. It was like a whole celebration. בכל יום מקיפים את המזבח פעם אחת, and then every day they would surround the altar one time. נחלקו המוראים בגמרא. So the Amoraim have a disagreement in the Gemara of the reasoning. יש מפרשים שהיו מקיפים את המזבח בערבות. There are some says that this is the used to do. They used to hold them in their hands, and they used to go with the aravot once around, ואחר כך היו זוקפים אותם בצדי המזבח, and then you would put them against the altar, ויש מפרשים שהיו זוקפים תחילה את הערבה בצדי המזבח. So it says, no, first of all you would put them on the altar, והיו מקיפים את המזבח בלולבים, and then you would go around, not with the aravot, with the lulav. וכן כותב הרמב"ם, and this is what the Rambam writes, בכל יום ויום היו מקיפים את המזבח בלולביהם בידיהם. It says, each and every day they would surround the altar with the lulavs in their hands. פעם אחת, once. And we see all the customs that we have now, how it comes exactly from them. ואומרים, and they say, אנא השם הושיע נא, אנא השם הצליח נא. And they say, please God help us, please God succeed in our ways. בגמרא מבואר, in the Gemara it explains, שהמקיפים לא היו אלא כהנים. The Gemara explains that who could do it? Only the Kohanim will be able to do it, because it's right on the altar. ואף על פי שישראל רשאי להיכנס לצורך מצווה לעזרת כהנים, but it says, hey, but a Jew is allowed to go if he's doing a mitzvah to, for example, for the shechting. You remember we learned? מכל מקום בין העולם ולמזבח אסור לו להיכנס. But so he's allowed to go on this side of the mizbeach, but he cannot surround. On the other side of the mizbeach, he's not allowed to. So he cannot surround anyway, so stay outside. Go back and the mitzvah is to go around. So since you can't do it, stay outside. Rabbi Yehuda אומר, Rabbi Yehuda says, אני והוא הושיענה. You say, אני והוא הושיענה. In other words, he disagrees in what he used to say. לא היו אומרים אנא השם, אלא אני והוא. They didn't use אנא השם, but they say אני והוא. And we said both of them, if you remember. We said the אני והוא, אנא השם in the beginning, and אני והוא in the last paragraph We go straight. שהוא גימטריה של אנא השם. This is the same numerical value as אנא השם. ועוד, and furthermore, שתיבות אלו הם 72 שמות של הקדוש ברוך הוא. These letters are from the 72 names of God. הנקובים בשלושת הפסוקים הסמוכים של פרשת בשלח. That they are the 3 verses in פרשת בשלח. What are the 3 verses? ויסע מלאך האלוקים ההולך לפני מחנה ישראל, and he traveled the angel of God that walks in front of the camp of Israel. That was the GPS. ויבוא בין מחנה מצרים ומחנה ישראל, and the angel of God came between the camp of Egypt and between the camp of Israel. ויט משה ידו על הים, and Moshe put his hand on the sea. So if you take all the letters of him here, you have all the letters of the 72 names of God. וכל אחד משלושת הפסוקים הללו הוא בין 72 אותיות. Each one of these 3 verses has 72 letters, וכל תיבה ותיבה מצטרפת מן האות הראשונה של הפסוק הראשון, והאות האחרונה של הפסוק האמצעי. And if you notice, every word comes from the first word of the first letter and the last letter of the middle verse. והאות הראשונה של הפסוק האחרון היא שם משמותיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. And the first letter of the last verse is the name of one of the names of God. ונמצא כאן 72 שמות. So if you make the calculation, you take one letter from one verse, one letter from another one, and you make this calculation, you've got 72 letters, so 72 names of God. How you made combination, sometimes from the beginning, sometimes from the end, sometimes from the middle, all kinds of things. והרי השם הראשון, וו של ויסע, and then you look at the names, וו של ויסע, you got וו of ויסע, ה' של הלילה, you've got the ה' from הלילה, וו של ויית, and you've got וו of ויית, והן, and this is the words, וו ה' וו, sorry, וו ה' וו, והשם ה-37, and the name 37, אלף של מאחריהם, if you've got the word מאחריהם, נון ראשונה של הענן, and then you've got נון, the first one of ענן, יוד של קדום, and you have אני, another name of God, me. רש"י, ואם נעשה שתי מערכות מהשמות הללו, if you're going to make all the combinations, יהיה השם אני הראשון במערכה השנייה, the name is going to be I from the first combination, ונמצא ששני שמות אלו, אני והוא, this is the אני והוא. The אני והוא is the names from all these verses. הם הראשונים לשתי המערכות, והקדים שם אני כדרך אני ראשון ואני אחרון. And why is the אני before והוא? Because just like it says, I'm in the first, I'm the beginning and I'm the end. So אני has to go in the beginning and in the end. ויש מפרשים שהוא קורא ורומז למה שנאמר, ראה אתה כי אני והוא. The Tosfos says there's a hint for it in another verse in דברים, שזה הפסוק בא בשמירת ישראל וישועתם. This verse you say about the guarding of the Jewish people. וכאילו הוא אומר, it is like he is saying, אתה שאמרת ראו אתה כי אני והוא, it says you that so that I am and he, או שיענה כמו שהבטחתנו. So the name of God, אני והוא, he should save us just like you promised us. ויש גורסים אני והוא, there are those who says אני והוא, כלומר מי שאני הוא בצרה הוא שיענה, שאף השם. Another explanation that the one who's once I'm in trouble, God is going to save me. משתתף בצרתם של ישראל, just like the Jewish people were in trouble in Egypt and God was together with them, so this God is going to save us in our trouble right here. God is with us, he's going to save us from this trouble. הדרך כתוב, עמו אנוכי בצרה, just like it says, I am with the Jewish nation in their troubles. וכן מהירים גם בעלי התוספות, this is בעלי התוספות, על פירושו של רש"י, they explain this on the verses of רש"י, ששני שמות הם, these are two names. למה נשתנו שני השמות הללו? Why are they two names? שאומרים אותם יותר מאחרים. Why these two, אני והוא, are more important than all the other names? We have many names of God. משום שדורשים במדרש איכה רבתי את הכתוב, because the מדרש איכה explains what's so special about the name of God, אני והוא. It says, because it says, ואני בתוך הגולה. in Yechezkel says, and I am inside the exile. ואת הכתוב, והוא אסור באזיקים, and it says, and he is tied with chains, כביכול הוא בעצמו, means he himself. והיינו, הושענא. So we say Hoshana, the one who's, we are just like God is tied in chains in exile together with us. So we tell God, Hoshana, break the chains. Sheyoshia le'atzmo, in other words, break your chains. God, right now you are with us. Just like we're in exile, you're in exile with us. So we're asking you, God, break your chains so you won't be in galus anymore. In other words, do it for you, not do it for us. You're in galus with us. We took you with him. הושענא לעצמו, ואותו היום, in that day, כלומר, ביום השביעי של ערבה, and this is throughout the 6 days. The 6 days, we ask God to save himself from the exile that we put him in. Let's put it himself. We said, God, take yourself out from there. Because he's God. He's just put himself there. He's the one who put. You are stuck there because he put you there. But he put himself there. Yeah, he has got the keys. He put himself, he's got the keys. He just chooses to be in the cell with you. Yep. מקיפים את המזבח 7 פעמים. So that's all the 6 days. What happens on the 7 days? On the 7 days you surround the altar 7 times. ואמרו בירושלמי, the saying in Yerushalmi, זכר ליריחו. What's the 7 times? This is a remembrance of the taking of the city of Jericho when on the 7th day they surrounded and then the walls fell. What does it mean the walls fell? The walls that constrain God within the galus are going to fall. It's the same thing. That's how the land of Israel was opened up through Jericho. Once they conquered Jericho, it's like conquering Washington. You don't need to conquer all of America. Once you conquer Washington, you conquered America. Or once you conquered Cairo, you conquered Egypt. You don't have to conquer that idea. This is Jericho. Jericho was the מפתח של הארץ. It was, once you conquered it, that's it. That's what it means. Yeah. So the same thing over here. בשעת פטירתן. So this is what you did on the 7th day. On the 7th day, 7 times around. בשעת פטירתן. And then with the Kohanim or the nation used to live after the 7 times. מן המזבח בסיום ההקפות, מה הם אומרים? What they used to say? They used to say, יופי לך מזבח, יופי לך מזבח. They say, how what beautiful it is, this altar, what a beautiful altar we have. היופי הזה אנחנו עושים לך, these decorations that we put, this kavod, this honor that we did around you. Why are we honoring you in such a manner? Because through you we get our atonement. You are bringing our time instead of going to in other words, what happens to all the sacrifices should happen to us, and through you it is just like it happened to us. What do you mean it happened to us? When it happens to us, God forgives. This is part of the atonement. But instead of atoning this way, you're atoning through sacrifices. So what a beautiful concept. Rabbi Eliezer says you don't say that. He says liyud kei velecha mizbeach, liyud kei velecha mizbeach. It says to God and to you is the altar, to God and to you into the altar. בגמרא שואלים, in the Gemara they ask, והלא אסור לשתף שם שמיים ודבר אחר. Who's to you? You're not allowed to have to you. What you putting God together with the altar, with the physical concept? God is God. You don't put things together with Him. ומתרצים שכך היו אומרים. So they say this is what they used to actually say. לי"ק אנחנו מודים, to God we thank, שהוא אלוקינו, that He is our God. ולך מזבח, and to you altar אנו משבחים. We praise you also. You God's servant. שאתה חביב לפניו לכפר עליו. Because you are dear to us, because through you, we get our atonement. לי"ק אנו מברכים, to God we bless, ולך אנו מקלסים, and we thank you. Just like a waiter. When a waiter in a restaurant comes and gives you this food, you say thank you to him. He didn't prepare the food. It's not his. Yeah? But he gave you the food. So say thank you to the waiter also. That's the idea.